Hi, CCF community. Welcome to the Mindfulness Monday series. My name is Rachel, and I'm going to take you through a grounding yoga flow to kickstart your week. It's simple and accessible from anywhere. So with that, we'll get started in a seated position. If you're in a chair, just making sure both feet are planted firmly onto the earth, really wanting to bring in some of that grounding energy. If you are on a yoga mat, on the floor, on your couch, we'll get started with the legs seated, cross-legged in front of us. I have a yoga block that I'm going to put underneath my sit bone. I love, love, love a yoga block. I think that in this particular posture, it helps to release tension in the hips. If you've got maybe a big book or a textbook, you could try placing that underneath your sit bones. And then from there, we'll start to shut the eyes and observing what's happening in the body. How do we feel? Is there areas that feel good, not so good? Does breath feel stuck? If so, we could envision like we're sending breath to that particular area in the body. And then after we've gone through that exercise, we will keep our eyes shut, opening and closing the jaw a few times to release any tension. And from there, just starting to elongate through the spine. So tucking your pelvis, getting long through the sides of the body, shrugging shoulders up and down, and then letting your shoulder blades melt down the backside body. Inhaling and exaggerating that inhale through the nose, and then we exhale through the mouth. That's one full count of breath. We'll take 10 counts of breath. Once that's been completed, we can remove any props from underneath us, and we're going to start to move into some seated cat-cows. So option to cross the hands over the chest, or we interlace our hands, bringing them to the base of the skull, and we inhale and arch our back for our cow pose, and then we exhale, bringing chin to chest, elbows together, rounding through the spine for cat. Inhale for your cow, and then we exhale, exaggerating that roundedness for your cat pose. Taking that 3 more times, and then we'll land back in a neutral seated position. Spine is tall, dropping chin to the chest, feeling a stretch along your cervical spine. Then we'll start to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. A hand will be placed on top of the head just to kind of adjust as needed to feel a stretch all along the left side of the neck. And then we'll bring the chin to the chest, taking it through and over to the other side, and making any adjustments you need to feel a stretch all along the right side of the neck. From here, we'll start to just take some half circles in one direction or the other. Always the option to do a full neck rotation, moving in one direction and then the other. And then we'll land back through center in a neutral position. Eyes will be opened here. Right hand is going to come outside the right leg. If you're seated in a chair, you can bring the hand to the hip. And we're going to bring left arm up towards the ceiling, bicep by the ear, as we start to side body bend towards our right side. Now here we want to think about keeping both sit bones planted onto the earth. Our heart, our chest want to be shining forward, not towards the ground. So keeping an opening in the chest and the heart. And then we start to go a little deeper into this, maybe walking the hand out, starting to try and work our way onto our forearm. And then the inhale will bring us through center, and then we'll take that on the other side. And again, using those cues to create length and opening all along that right side body to feel a nice stretch. And then the inhale brings us through center. We'll take that 3 more times on each side. And then from there, we'll land back in a neutral seated position, shutting our eyes and noticing how we feel, just bringing some gentle movement into the body. How does that feel? How does connecting breath to movement make you feel? Maybe it's a little bit more grounded. Maybe it brings a little bit more lightness into your body, and thinking about how we can carry that lightness with us as we move forward through the rest of our day and our week. Thank you all for joining me, and I'm excited to be back next week. Thank you.